Give me a
You
minute.
can start, Purshut.
Yeah, give me a minute. Okay. So to start up with the like I would just start up with like what is VIA, what is the architecture we have, and how it is different from like the grid setup. So okay, between just ask any questions if needed. So like so we are, as you know, like as a SAS administrator, you know, like what is SAS, right? Like so SAS VIA, it is a, like an another uh, platform similar to SAS grid setup. But the thing is, it is an in-memory application which uses like instead of using like an traditional V9 engine, it uses like a CAS engine. So the concept behind this is like a parallel processing. So it uses like an in-memory uh, uh, tabular format, and like the computation happens in memory itself. So it just does enough faster processing as well as and a parallel processing. So if we just take for an example on the grid, right, like it just based on the load sharing facility, it just schedules the job or like submits the job into the grid. So but in the VR, like if you just take a chunk of program and like it will split it into the same program will be split it into like chunks based on the worker nodes available, and then the job will be computed like parallelly, and the output result will be given to the cache controller. So the the operation would be like in much quicker manner, and since it's an in-memory application, it just does the operation in a fraction of seconds, because like all this happening in a local memory called cascade. So that's the benefit of like going for VIA. And so in the other advantages, like it is user friendly and program friendly in the sense like it is always compatible with like the open source modules like Python, R, Lua, and Java. So in traditional via V9 engine, there is some restrictions to go to Python or R or Java, but in SAS via it is directly compatible. So you can either program in Python or R or Java, and then you can just call like a VIA program in the code itself, so that it just submits the code in the VIA CAS engine, and the result will be displayed in the whatever language you play, like in the Java or like Python. So the system is also like it is highly available system, because uh, it doesn't depend on like a traditional Windows based system or like an or Linux based physical boxes. It's compatible with the cloud based system, and it is highly scalable. So if it is like an MPP enabled and like an auto scaling is enabled on the architectural part, so the system never goes down. And since it's on a cloud, like there is maintenance free systems available. So also like readily scalable, like wherever necessary. So the system is very robust, and it can be like plug and play module, so that the user can just start up spin up the VI instance and like stop whenever necessary based on the licensing they are available. So if you want to add on like an add-on products, so we can do that on VI engine. It's very easy. So we no need to stop the services or like just it's just like a running and playbook module or like a Kubernetes module, so that it just everything depends on the AWS cloud or like AWS or Azure module based on the basically on the cloud architecture. So basically, so who will go for VI instances? Like why we need VI actually? So for since the market is very much um, dependent on the data, so we on SAS Grid it is problem that it even though it does like a fast efficient and like robust algorithm computations, but the problem is their input getting the data into the system, like the IO loads is dependent directly on the file systems we are using, right? So even though the computation is faster, it is directly dependent on the IO levels of the system. So consider that there is a Facebook feed which is going to be into the system in the SAS system, and that has to be like predicted, or like they have to make a decision tree out of the Facebook feed. So it is like a nightmare to get the data into the from the Facebook into the system, right? So but SAS VIA is much capable to do that actually, like directly from Facebook we just can get the feeds as an unstructured data, and then can feed into the system and can play with it. So that much efficient the system is. So that's why we, for most of the data mining, like machine learning purposes or like visual analytics purposes, so they request advise to go to the VI instances. So what's the difference? Like, so in the grid setup, there will be a module like a five-tiered module, right? Like one is like data tier, client tier, web tier, metadata tier, and the compute tier. But it is somewhat different to the VI instance. In the VI instance, we have like three tiers. Actually, like basically you can just segregate into three tiers. One is like the SPRE service, SPRE layer, like this microservices layer. So the VIA is much matured module, so that it all the services should be like a microservices. It doesn't depend directly dependent on the other services. It is indirectly dependent on the services actually. So if one service goes down, the other service would be running up and running, but if it has dependencies, it will fail. Otherwise, it will be up and running. So if, for example, if we just say like visual analytics module fails, microservice visual analytics fails, but the SAS Studio will be up and running. It doesn't affect all the web applications. It does affect the visual analytics alone. Like SAS Studio programming level will work, the managing data will work, the preparation area, model studio, everything will work. Only the visual analytics microservice will fail. So that much matured module has been developed on the VI instances. So that, as I said, like there are three layers. One is like SPRE. It just contains SPRE in the sense like runtime environment. Runtime environment in the sense it just has like all the binaries in it, and there will be a layer for microservices layer, like via all services layer. So where all the microservices pods or the microservice in the 4.0 version, we just have like as refers to as pods, that as all the service microservices, which means like the logon services, authentication services like SAS Studio, report data, um, what to say, like visual analytics, search engine, transferring like metadata, data preparation area, everything will be like in small services which will be running on the microservices engine. So it's just like a on one server they will just deploy all these applications. And another layer will be like the cache controller layer. The cache controller layer is the main cloud analytics server, is the main part of it is the core application layer. So where it does has like two parts. One is like the cache controller and the cache worker nodes. So cache control in the grid we have like a grid controller and the grid nodes, right? Like the similar way we have in the cache system, we have like cache controller and a cache worker nodes. So but so in the sense, like in the cache controller, we have like the foundation SAS where the program actually executes, and the cache controller services would be executed. So the cache controller services will just speaks with the cache worker node saying that, hey, I just splitted a job for you. You just do the computation and give me the job results. So the cache controller splits the job and send to the cache worker nodes. It's again recollects the data and just publish it to the users through a microservice. So that's the way it works actually. So other layer will be the data layer. The data layer can be any types actually, like any RDBMS, like any database formats, or like any unstructured data, like as I said, like Facebook feed or anything. It can be anything actually. So these are the basic tiers which is available. Like one is like the SPRE service layer, or the SPRE layer, where the applications will be actually present. The core binaries would be present on the cloud analytics server, like the foundation services would be there, and the cache related services would be there. The beauty of like going the VIA system is, so since if you are going to do like a traditional SAS programming, right? Like if you just say like I have a set of program which uses like proxy, sort of frequency. So what will happen if I just go to the VIA instance and run that program? It will run because it will run in a V9 engine. So SAS Foundation as a capability of running in VIA has a capability of running on like V9 engine. That is like traditional 9.4 engine as well as on a CAS engine. So if you want to run it on a CAS machine, like as a CAS, if you want to use the CAS principles, you just need to make a tweak to the code. Like for example, like proc free CAS, another procedure called proc is free or something. So if you use that, it will use CAS memory as its module actually. So instead of submitting on a V9 engine, it will use the CAS engine. So if you assign a library like an to a variable path, like if you just have like a known path to your in the server, and if you are going to assign a library to it, it will actually assign to a V9 library. If you want to assign as a CAS library, you need to manage it through like manage prepare data, and then you need to manage the CAS library. So CAS library is so powerful so that if it can just put, keep it as an in-memory table. So for faster computation later part, like it can be shared to the users, like or can be managed to any groups or anything. So but the library name, it is difficult to do that, because like as an administrator has to do at metadata level. But in CAS library part, it is easy for them. The user itself can make the permission sets readily available for the users. So that's the thing, like and they can just always load the data from local systems or anything.
Bro, do we have event stream processing at AZ?
What, bro?
Can you go to the slide before?
Okay.
There was a SAS event stream processing. Do we have event stream processing in AG?
Even I didn't get you, bro. Event.
There was a SAS event stream processing was there, right? If you see in the right side. Event stream processing.
SAS event stream processing on the right hand side, last but before.
Yeah, we are not having that actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have architecture diagram of AZ, bro?
I can get that. I have like for a blueprint for like Japan instance, not for like Ireland instance.
Okay.
I shot it. I think like I just put it in that A&R support teams.
Okay, I'll get it. Yes.
So this PPT will be for like for Japan instance. So okay. So as I said, like this is the basic layer of like SAS VIA. So you just get the system like how the SAS VIA is right. So what is the difference between like grid and like SAS, right? SAS VIA, right? Any doubts on that? Hello.
No, Purushot.
Okay. So
No.
okay. So in AstraZeneca we have like two SAS VIA modules actually. Like for as a running module, we have like two modules. One is like both on like SAS VIA 3.5. So currently we have like in the production SAS vendor production level, if we have like two versions like that is available, right? Is 3.5 and 4.0. 4.0 is a recent version they just released right now, like in 6 months back. um, um, 3.5 is like a robust version which is being widely used by all the user communities. So we have like two working 3.5 versions actually. So one is on the Japan. So Japan system is dedicated for the Japanese data hub users. Like they have a module called like RW data hub, where the actual data, like the RW data itself would be residing on a Redshift database in the Japan AWS cluster. And they have like another set of applications for data science purposes like Stata, R, Jupyter, Python, like and SAS. So all these other set of programs, applications also they have available for like data science purposes. So they just built a dedicated system for them. So in that SAS VIA is one of the module. So where like they have like 6 worker nodes. Like if you just see like the worker nodes available for their system, it will be like 6 worker nodes, 1 controller node, and like 1 MAS node or the SPRE node. So where the microservices would be running in the MAS node, controller services or in the CAS services, foundation services would be running on the CAS controller node, and all the worker nodes will be like on the worker nodes like WPRD 02 to WPRD 06. So So this slide will give you like what is the memory and CPU allocated for it. Okay. So this is like one instance which is on the Japanese instance, and another instance is like for Ireland team, like or not for Ireland, like basically developed as a POC for COVID studies. So it's based on an AWS Ireland. So it is completely actually it is directly built by SAS itself for the COVID studies. So they have like a very small instance for during like POC kind of thing. So they have like 3 worker nodes, 1 controller node, and like 1 mass node. So are the VIA all services. So the architecture wise, it looks both the platforms look similar. Only thing like the logging in like the administrative activities will differ actually. So on I'll just show you like how the system is actually. Okay, so I will just show you like the Ireland instance. So it is completely hosted on the AWS. So I just have access to it. So I'll just show you the EC2 instance. So there are like 6 instances being running on that node. Uh, 6 instances in the sense like 1 controller node, 3 worker nodes, 1 SPRE node like VIA services all nodes, and 1 jump server. So we don't have direct privilege like direct SSH privileges to all these servers. Only we have access to jump server. Jump server in the sense we need to log into that server, and then we need to log into SSH to other servers through that only. So but the problem is we don't get the credentials directly. So we have like a PIM file which just authenticates with this server. Using that PIM file only we can log into the server. So that's the way it is designed actually. So what I'm going to do, like I just have that PIM file in the under this folder. So this is my local mobile term. I'm just logging in, and I just have like a PIM file under my folder. I'm just doing an SSH to it. So this will be the command SSH-x-i and the PIM file easy to user like the host name. If I just give it, I'm able to log into the server. So then I can do the SSH to all the servers. So VIA services like VIA services, cache controller, and worker nodes. So if you just want to go there, you can just navigate through it. The services would be installed in. Services should be installed under OPT SAS actually like on all the folders. So in if you just go to like cache controller, it will be quite different. But in mass controller, yeah, MAS services or like VIA services, it will be like this. So to start and stop the processes, like to check what are the processes running and like what are the if you want to see all the processes, just go to etc init.d. You will see the list of processes assigned to it. So if you just see like all these processes, it will be there. There will be like around like 200 processes being running on that SPRE node. So all these are like microservices. Like each microservices would be running one for run launcher, one for RabbitMQ, one for connect like that. So each service would be running on that node. So if you just want to check all the services, give like sudo / via all services status. So it's the same for like start and stop. So just give like start and stop. So if you just anything problem, if any service is down, like you can just start that. If you want to start that service alone, just give like SAS via model default and the status or start or stop. It will just give it for you. So if you want to see all the details, just give like sudo via all services status. Currently it is being started actually, like there was some issues. So I'm just starting it up. So I'll just show the status. So it will just gather the console results for you and print like whether it is up or not up. So this is like for the SPRE node, and the same will be like for the cache controller node and the cache worker node. The startup and startup will be the same. So the orders will be like you just need to start the cache controller node for the SPRE node first, the worker node second, and the cache controller node at the last. So that will be the order. Like you can just stop it in any order if you want. Like the beauty of like SAS VIA is you can start and stop in like in most any way of the manner. The thing is like it will just go down and come up. So in the logs, it will capture there is an error, but it will just start it automatically after it just tries to ping the other server. It just started automatically. So so it's not a problem to start it in a sequence or not. So that's one thing. And so similar way in the for the Japan instance, this will be the same. But the thing is, for Japan instance, we don't have direct sudo access to the servers. So but the thing is, like we can directly SSH to the servers. Like the SSH access to the servers is directly given to us. So we can directly SSH to the servers, but we can't start the services because it has to run through like a DOT team. So like in Unix ETS Unix team, there is a team called like DOT team. So they would be starting and stopping the services during the any patching activities. But the thing is like the services would be started automatically when the server reboots. So since it is an etc init.d, the services will be automatically restarted. So no need to restart the services when the patching is complete. We just need to validate whenever the services comes up. So a server reboots. So in 15 to 20 minutes, the service will be started automatically. So that's one thing. Okay. So no need to start it automatically. Don't need to start it like in just go to the server. Like once the server reboots, you don't want to do it. So it will start automatically. But the thing is like if you want to do it like any maintenance patching or anything, so it is better to you stop the services and restart it or whenever necessary. So since it is like see like currently it is being starting. So that's why it is saying like not ready. So these services. So it will take time to start these services. It will retry actually. Like if one time fails, it will try to retry and it will start the services. So that's the way it works. And so I just said like between difference between SAS Japan and Ireland, right? Okay. So I'll just show you the application how it is. So there will be a dedicated URL for all the systems. Like so the basically the SPRE node will be having that URL. Or the main like wherever the microservice is running, it will be having that Apache running on it. So just log into that. It is not loading. Sometimes my VPN won't allow this. Just logging into validated system. Now I think it started all the services, so that's why it just printed. Just says like what are the timings it took to start services. Okay. So initially, if you just log in into first time, if you just log into the application, you would get this SAS drive. So SAS drive is the main folder for all the users. Like it just gives like the folder level under your under your thing. Like it will just show you like the my folder, like where you can just upload like any folders or like any files for you. So this is like an unique variable, unique URI path, actually like unique identifier path. So on inside the application itself. So it just that doesn't show at any point of in the server. It just creates under the URI path in the application. So you can't directly see. It is created under the PG pool Rabbit MQTT. Okay. So in the this is cache content. So cache content also created similar way. We can create the folders, and if you just want to see like the URI path will be actually like pointing to this. Okay, here I can see. So this is like the cache content, and like you can just load the data over here to any part of this. So inside this, there will be a module called analytics lifecycle where you can just do the any data preparation. So consider for example, like if you are have to do a reporting module, like just take a scenario of a user who is going to create a report and publish it to the public users. So what happens, right? Like they just prepare a data first. They just need to input the data from anywhere. Like they just want to input the data. They need to maintain it under a table, right? So they just manage the data, then they do a cleansing or like any transformation or loading. They would do it like an ETL jobs, like prepare the data, then they visualize the data, explore and visualize the data. So if they want to build a module, like a models in the sense like they just want to make a predictive modeling based on some algorithms, and based on its output they just want to create a model, right? Like for machine learning purposes, they can build the models and manage the models. Like if they want to uh, again train the models for like another purposes, like consider like in Facebook you're just getting the Facebook face recognized, right? So that is actually happened through a model built. So they just trained a model so that it just recognized the facial points and packets, and then it just that model it just based on an algorithm, it just creates an algorithm, and that algorithm is being used to um, identify the users under your Facebook list. So like that, you can just build the models, manage the models, build decisions. Like if you just want to create like a decision tree, like on what needs to be do next, like on a predictive, consider for a predictive modeling, like just predictive algorithm, like if this is the scenario, what would be the output. So like that predictive modeling will be can be created, and just you can just share and collaborate. Once you create all these, like you can just share and collaborate to the users, like what to say, you can just create a report kind of thing and publish it to the users to view it publicly, or within the application you can just view it like who needs to access what. So develop SAS code is a traditional SAS studio. So if you just click on like manage studio, it will just redirect you to a SAS data explorer. So similar way, all these are micro, as I said before, like all these are microservices which running on the main server. So like, so these services would be like a microservice with pointing to a service actually. So here you can just manage the data sources. So actually this is the main part, like an as administrator you can do, like So you can manage the services. As I said, like these are the CAS libraries. So CAS libraries can be managed over here. So you can just make a connection to it. So if I just want to make a new connection, so give a new connection and give just a name, like any folder name or anything, any CAS library name. So the CAS library can be like of three types. One is like file system, database, or others in the sense like any URL path or anything you can just mention over here. So database in the sense like all the type of databases will be available for you, like the source type. So you don't want to specify any ODBC or any manage any ODBC or anything. So here everything will be available for you. Like just select like the if you want to select like the Oracle database, Postgres database or anything, you can just give it. Or the file system in the sense like the actual server path. Like if you have like home, your prit folder, you can just mention and give the test connection. So if you just give the test connections and include, if you want to include subdirectives, you can do that. If you just give text connection, it will just put it in green mark and then you can just save it. So once you save it, it will be available under this. And this is actually like available under your home path. So if you want to make it available to public, actually we can do that. To make it public, we can do that. So like administrator access can do that. So for that, you just need to go through environmental manager. So environment, the main thing, like we don't have like metadata manager or anything like the grid. So here we have like everything managed through the environment manager. So just click on manage environment. It will point to SAS environment manager. So it will just uh, if you have access to like an administrator, usually we can get an administrator access to it. So if you just have an administrator access, so we can do anything we want on this. So basically there will be an account called SAS boot, which can be used as an administrator access. So if we are added to administrator group, you can access, otherwise the SAS boot will be helpful for you. I'll just share the credentials as well for you. So this is like the service metrics. So this will show you the actual services running on the system. So this machines will be the servers actually. So if I just click on this class CPRD01, I can see what are the services running under it. So if you just it is in green mark, it means like the services are running fine now. So if I just want to see like the connect spawner services, I can just click over here and see it. And there will be a service called SAS content, where we can manage the, as I said before, where we can manage the CAS content libraries. So this would be like the folders which can be created and like given permission so that user can upload their data within the application itself. They don't want to manage everything from the server level. So within the application, they want to manage anything, then they can put it in the CAS content level. So what they will do, just create a folder and they will edit the permissions. So if you just give edit authorization, I can manage the permissions actually. So who can access what? So we just created a group so that like in that group we can just give like privileges, like who needs to what privileges. If you want to read privilege, write privilege, or if you just want to make the add privileges, we can do that. If they don't want to delete it, then we can just put it in no mark so that we can just modify. They the restriction for what to say, like delete option would be restricted for them. So this is one thing. And if you just go to servers, you will see actually the server lists. So if you just click on SAS server shared default, I can see the configuration, like what are the sessions available, like what are the sessions connected to the system right now. And if I just click on CAS configuration, I can see what are the configuration files being set. So the if I just go, if we want to know about the installation part, the SAS VIYA 3.5 completely made through installation through an Ansible playbook. So they would update, we would just get the deployment pack. We would apply the update the YAML file, like the Ansible playbook YAML file according to our needs. We just mentioned like the server details, everything we just mentioned, like what are the details we need. Then we just run the Ansible playbook. So then the application would get deployed on all the servers automatically. So if you want to know the configuration later part, you can just go to this configuration folder and you can see. You can also manage it over from here, or you can just manage it from the YAML file. Like you just want to rerun the manual YAML file afterwards. So all the details would be here. So if you want to see the node statuses like worker node statuses, it will just populate it over here. And if you just click on this one, it will just show you like what are the worker nodes being running on the nodes. So actual like environmental variables being set for that nodes, because all the cache work library cache services would be running using the user ID called cache. It doesn't run under your operate. It just run under the user called cache. The cache catch and like all the work library details would be running on the cache user. So the variables used for the cache is the most important. Like environmental variables set under the cache will determine like which functions passes or fails. So if something goes wrong, or like LD library, if some libraries is missing on the server, it means like the cache user is not having the LD library path being set, or the Oracle home not being set, or the PS Postgres path is not being set. Like that, you can just determine it from here. So we just can get the environmental variables and all the details from here. Whatever variables we just want to get it, so we can just get like whatever value to set. This is different from other server, then there is a problem with that server, so we can manage it from there. Okay, so this needs to be like monitored when not every time, like, but if when something is going wrong, we can monitor from here. Or if you want to know like which path has the some variables, like if you just go to here like that, there will be showing a text file called license.txt. So this is the actual license file which is being placed. So if you want to make any changes to the license, you can just go and edit it over here. So this like a user library. So the thing is like for a grid system, we manage the LDAP library, or like the user level management is through AD sync up script, right? Like there will be a we just add the users to the AD group, then a sync up script will add the users to a metadata, and it will be Unix enabled so that the server will be listing that PRITs. But in Japan system, it's not like that. It's directly integrated with the Active Directory. It means like you just need to add that IDM group. Um, there is a template access actually. So once they are onboarded to the template group, it will be Unix enabled, as well as it will be added to an AD group, so that the AD group is directly pointed over here. So you can just get the AD group list directly into the system. So if you just, it's no need to have a wait time or anything. It just refresh it, refresh. Once the user is added to the AD group, it will just reflect it over here automatically. Within minutes, it will just reflect in the system. So it just need to wait like 2 or 3 minutes. User will be available into the system. So the thing is like it is directly integratable with the Active Directory. So if you want to make modification to anything on the Active Directory setup, so you just go to the configuration. So all the details will be here. Like go to the definitions, type LDAP. There will be 4 options actually, which makes the connection possible. So if you just click on the group and give on edit, so this will be showing like which group as being listed over here. So this is the actual group, AD group, which is being listed over here, populated. So this is being authenticated through the connection setup. So here the connection URI will be here. So you just need to give the credentials to it. So this is already set actually. So gcs.astrazeneca.net is the URL for Active Directory console. So you just need to give the password and the details. So everything will be automatically synced up. So yeah, if you just click on like the user tab, you can see all the list of users over here. So users. Okay. So whoever users are a part of that group will be available over here. So if you want to manage the folder, or as I said before, like the SAS content folders manually, or like the group level, you can create the custom groups, like go to custom groups and create a new group. And there, under that, you can just manage the number of users. Like if you just see like common DS Japan is one of the group, what they done right, like they just created a group and they added that users. So they just manage the SAS content folders tagged into these groups, so they can just manage that folders to this group. Okay, so you can just see the licensed products available under this. So it will be up to 2022. If you want to see the log files, like you can always, like as in Splunk or anything, you can just filter out like the error logs and things like that. So if I just want to filter out a error alone, I can do that. So just give like apply error, select error and apply. It will just populate it over here. What are the error logs available? So from that you can just get like the details. Like if any error is there, you can just get the details. Like you can just always select the custom range and things like that. So from there we can just see like the log, all the logs will be captured over here from all the applications. So you can just monitor over here. And if you want to see the CPU load and things like that, it will be under the machines tab. So for each node, it will be available. You can always get this details. And if you are good in like programming and visual analytics, you can put it into visual analytics and view the data as well. So that is unfeasibility. So this is like the basic application. And so for user management, as I said before, like you just need to add the user to the template group. So for Japan system, actually we don't manage the services, the user level management. But if in case it comes, so we just add it to a template group. Like there is a template group for that. We just add the users to the template group. Once we add the template group, it will sync up with the triple SD configuration under the server. So here, if we don't have like any third party authentication like one identity, we have like triple SD authentication. So it will just automatically add up to the server authentication, and in the application it will be auto sync because of the active directory sync up. So active directory connection, we just sync it up. So that is one thing. And the folder level, we don't manage much. So everything the users, Japan team will automate, they itself manage the folders. So now they have made a request to make it in a streamlined manner. So we are working on that. But the thing, currently we don't support the folder level management. So this is the like basic VIA architecture on for Japan. For Ireland, as like said before, like you just need to log SSH to the servers, maintain the services. So application would look similar to that of the Japan system. We don't see any differences. Only thing like a difference would be like active directory sync up. So there is no active directory concept over here. So there is an open LDAP configuration. So you just go to like via all services. Under the mass server, like if any time if they ask to add in the SAS via POC setup, so we just add this make a change in this file. Like I just added one file. Go to this under this server, like the VIA services server. Go to open LDAP, OPT LDAP. So this service would be automatically running on the server. So it is not connected to LDAP. It is just directly pinging with your local LDAP connection. So you just need to give these details. Like you don't want to give any passwords. You just need to give the DN. Just keep all everything the same. Only thing, you just need to make changes to the UID number. Just give +1. Like if at last it will be like 22. Like just give +1, and just the home directory. Yeah, that user mail ID, the display name, and the prints. So that's enough. Like then you just need to run this command. You just give like add user.sh. It will just check whether that user is available in the system. If not, it will just add it to the system. So they just need to do an SSO login. So they can't provide their passwords. They can just give SSO login. It means like they don't want their passwords. They just directly log into the server with their prints. So once they give their prints, they just can log into the system. So it will just authenticate with the Windows password actually. So so that's the way Ireland system works. So the COVID SAS VIYA system works. So that we don't manage much because it is like a POC system. So it is going to be moved to like 4.0 going forward, so it is not going to be used more much now. So or they are just planning to build a robust system right now, because it is like having only 3 worker nodes and like very minimal what to say infra they have. So they are just planning to move it to a better system, and like then they will have like an AD setup synced up. So that's difference between these two systems. Otherwise this both the systems should be looking like the in similar way. And we don't have much work to do on these systems right now. That's one thing. Yeah, so that's all I think. Any doubts, any queries? Hello.
Bro, Purush, bro, uh, I think I have missed it or not. How do we restart the services here in the I mean VIA?
Yeah, that's what I said, Rono, bro. Like go to etc
Okay,
init.d. There will be all services. So just give like stop and start. That's it. So sudo /SAS via all
okay,
services. If you just give instead of status, if you just give stop, it will just stop. And if you give start, start. If you want to
okay,
start the service manually, like if you, in the application, so if you just see like in some point, some service may go down. Like it will just show in orange color or like red color. So saying like a warning or stopped. So if you want start that service alone, in if it this is like cache controller, right? Like click on cache controller. If it just see like this service is down. So if you just click on this, it will just highlight like which server, which service instance, and which the service name. So start that service alone. Like you just go to that server. Like if you just go to the cache controller server in the etc init.d, there will be such service being running. Like if you just see, for an example, I want to start like the cache formats default alone. Just select this and give like sudo start stop. That's it. So the via all services command will stop these services in an order. That's it. So
okay,
since all are microservices, it will just start in and stop in an order. If you want, you can just start it manually if you want. If some service alone goes down, if you just want to start it manually, you can do that always. So the log files will be captured over here. I'll just show you.
okay. So
The OPT.
you will be sharing these credentials and all, right?
Yeah,
So that
I already shared, right?
yes, I do have, yeah. Sorry, and server names I don't have, so you can share it to us.
Oh, okay, okay.
This presentation, if you're sharing, it will be, I think all the server names are there, right? Purshot?
Yeah, that is the yeah, for Japan we have that in that details. So,
Yeah.
Do we have any dev servers, bro?
no dev, bro. This itself POC only, like
Oh, it's a production. That only we do have only production
like for
servers.
Japan it is production. For Ireland system it is POC system only. So there is no development program.
Okay,
So for Japan instance, you can either use like CAS user or SAS user to log into the server. Like I'll just show you one thing. Yeah. On cache controller node, there is like SAS work available and cache cache available. So cache cache would be like 8 TB of storage on each node, like in a XFS like local storage unit. So on each node, it will be mounted. So this is given to a group called like the SAS group will be available, and on the servers and the controller node, like all the users can write the data into it, like for SAS work and cache catch. On the worker nodes, like the AD group would be authenticated, like the cache user and the group would be like the AD group. So given the permissions, like 775 would be given permissions. So like on each node, this cache will be available for 8 TB storage unit. And in controller alone, like there will be another point called SAS work, because the foundation works runs on the SAS work. If we running on V9 engine, only on the cache controller it will be running, not on the worker nodes. Remember that, like if you just running on a V9 engine, if all the memory would be consumed from the car controller alone. So it will just go to the SAS work libraries. So if user says like it's still in slow in performance, then he may be using the V9 engine traditional programming technique. So if we just see like, so this is, as I said, like this is like the user library. So CAS user library is this one. So under this default, like the CAS user libraries, it will just take it the memories when we create the folders and things like that. So it is actually like very less memory, like 53 GB. It is not meant to be used, like it is only for like connection purposes. So it is 53 GB, and the logs will be captured under this var logs. Like all the logs will be captured under this. So if you just see like all the log files will be captured under folders. So you can just for each service, each log folder will be created. Under this, you can just check the services. For Japan, for Ireland, we don't have any storage units or anything. Just they just mainly do the programmings and check as a POC. They don't have much things to do on the system. For Ireland, they don't have much. For Japan, they have like two elastic storage units, like for in NFS4. So like SAS data and SAS code. So yeah, they're trying to manage the data actually. Like they just have like folders. So here they manage the data actually. So so we can just navigate to the folders over from the application. Like if you just log into the application, you just go to SAS Studio V. Either they can assign as a cache library or a V9 library. Yeah, if you just go to the Explorer tab, you can see the home folder. So I just created a link file for the users so that I can see the folders over here. So this is pointing to my home pret, but this folder is actually to its the SAS data external storage unit. So I can just see it over here. So it has to be done for all the users as well. So it is directly integratable with Git actually. So if you want to make the Git connection, you can do that for versioning and everything like that. So this library is actually like V9 library. So if you want to assign like a CAS library, I will just show you. So anyone familiar with CAS programming? No?
No, Purushot.
No, bro.
CAS lab. Okay. So these libraries are like V9 libraries. I will show you the difference. Okay. So if it is like cloud symbol, it is like an cloud CAS library. So if you just see like the properties, so it just says like engine as CAS. Okay. So see like the CAS engine. But if you just take like the SAS help, it just says like V9 engine. So if you are assigning a library under your path, like home path or something, if I just want to assign a library under this my like I just want to create a repo. So if I just create a library from here, I just created it. So if I just show, so you can just see like a V9 engine only. It's not a CAS library. If you want to create a CAS library, go to manage data. This managed data is actually for local use only. It don't it will just clean up after you refresh the session. If you want to make it permanent, you have to do it from environment manager. So like file system, I'm just doing. Okay, this is already there, I think. I'll create for temp. Okay, so it shows like the connection is successful. So, if I just again in the same tab, I just go to SAS Studio. Okay, I'll just give a refresh. It's not visible. I think it's not visible yet. Okay, so yeah, I can see the data from like from the temp folder. So it just assigned as a cache library. So I can't manage it. So if you want to manage it through a SAS code, I want to manage through like from the environment manager. Otherwise, it is not showing it over here. Wait, let me try one thing. It's not showing. You have to manage through like environment manager, and then it will just reflect it over here. When you assign like all libraries, it will assign by you. Or if you want to create like programmatically, you can do that. You can use like cast tools and like you can do it programmatically as well. So that is one thing. If you want to load the data from like a V9 engine to the CAS lib engine, you can do that. If you want to load like from CAS lib to the V9 engine, you can do that. Like there will be tasks actually for to do that. So if you know programming, then you can do that. Otherwise, there will be some tasks to do that. If you just go click on like snippets, you can see like number of tasks available for you. So in that, you just click on like cloud analytics services. You can just create like cache, how to create cache connection, like make a cache connection, like list options, save data and like load data, everything will be there. So you can just use that to do programming, like how to create graphs or something like that. So if you want to import data or like things like that, you can do that. So if you want to import like to the cache content, also you can do that actually. So in share and collaborate, if you want to upload actually, so if you want to upload a file or folder from your local machine, you can do that. If you just take it to your local machine. So or any share drive, you can it will take for you. So that is thing. And if you want to directly visualize the data using like visual analytics, you can just click on visual SAS explore and visualize. It will just point it to visual analytics. From here itself, you can just prepare the data, or you can load the data directly and import it to memory, or as well as you can just do visualization whenever necessary. So it's slow for me. What's the time now? Okay, so I think like that's it. So you can just load the data and like visualize. Like if you just click on suggest, it will just show for you like some sample graphs, and you can just visualize like whatever necessary based on the data. Content. So that's it. So any doubts? Oh, all there.
I have few.
No, bro.
I have few. Purushottam, I will reach you offline.
Okay, okay, sure, sure.
Can
Anyone
I stop the
else?
presentation recording?
Yeah, yeah, sure.